I'm going to walk through playing Willow Weat for Me. This is meant to be a companion piece to the YouTube video that I put up, which was done on the acoustic piano. So I'm doing this on a MIDI keyboard so I can generate a digital performance. I'm going to actually build from the bottom. I'm going to start with the chords down here and just kind of go through them. This is a simple kind of blues-like accompaniment where you're basically playing on the downbeat of 1, 2, 3, and 4. You try to be very metronomic about it so that it's very even and deliberate. One thing you might want to notice is that the let up is as important as playing because it kind of propels the rhythm. So it's up, 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 up. If you're just kind of doing it randomly, it's not as tight. So you want to think about lifting up at the same place on every note. So that's just a little tip there in terms of getting the sound to be a little bit more bluesy and to push the rhythm along. Don't worry if you can't reach tenths. You can roll it, or you can even let go and play it. If you do it that rhythmically, it actually becomes part of your style. So it does help your playing, though, to kind of stretch your fingers. So, you know, you might want to just try to reach some of these since this is a slow song. But G7, C7 with a ninth in there. See how I'm using that to propel it? So it's up, up, and that's part of the rhythm. A minor 7. That's a B minor 7. D minor 7 with a ninth in there. That's a G7. It's got the ninth and the 13th in it. That is a D flat 7. Again, A minor 7. That's with a plus 9. E flat 7, D7. So those are the basic chords. What I did at the first of that was just kind of give it an introduction. When I say the first of that, I mean on the YouTube video. It's a little bit of a gospel-y thing. Punch, punch, punch. So you gotta, and raising up is part of it. Here there's how there's space at the end with each one. That's just part of the style. Same thing. I start like that. Oops. Okay. A minor 7. I use the thumb to hit the ninth there. Can't do it. Let's use that. This is, see where that's a D7? It's got a plus 11 and a ninth in it. See where this is a C7 without the root, going to a D flat 7 without the root. I'm playing a lot of open chords because it just kind of sets the tone. Let me say something about the scale that I'm using here. This is a blues scale with a little bit of a variation. A blues scale. Okay, 6 notes. Minor third, fourth, tritone, fifth, seventh, and then you're back to the octave. I use the F sharp in it. Okay? It's used as a passing tone, and check the scale out against all of the chords. I'm going to play the chords real quick against the scales. That goes C7, okay, let's this passage. A minor 7, it goes. B minor 7, that actually goes. There's a lot of dissonance built into that against the B minor 7, which is nice. D minor 7, D flat 7, C7, D flat 7, D7. So you get the idea. The reason I'm showing this is because if you get to a place where you're lost, if you stay with a blues scale and practice coming up with interesting rhythms and licks within the context of that scale, it's going to work automatically with this. Now what I do is, if I just played within the scale, it would get a little bit monotonous. So what I do instead is, like on this one, I'll play in the scale, within the blues scale. Now this, I'll come out of it and I'll just play against, I'm playing basically a B Dorian, because it then lightens things up and gives you a little bit of variety to get out of that blues scale for just a moment. Same thing. D minor 7. I'm using the Dorian. Back to the blues scale. I really like the C7. See where I'm using the C here? You go up to the D flat 7. I really like emphasizing the C natural, which is very dissonant against this, but I think it sounds good. The thing about playing in the blues style is that it's very lick oriented, as opposed to trying to create original singable melodies, which is nice and part of it, but a major part of it is just learning very simple kind of fingery things that are part of the vocabulary, and the creativity part of it is choosing when and where to do the licks, what chords you're putting them over, and when you employ them. So so those are all kind of licks, typical blues licks. What I was doing, let's start with that in improvising. See, I'm doing something really simple just to accentuate that it's very much a rhythmic idiom that you're working in, and the melody is in many ways almost secondary. Um, this, you can take it. See, what's interesting about that, that is a D7 with the +9, +5. I'm using the tonic in it, which is a real common thing. You have both the leading tone and the resolution all at once. So it's a 5-1 altogether. This is a, let me show you a little bit about technique, about how to do those kind of blues riffs. To practice it, you break it down into small impulsive moves. So that's basically one move. And then you throw down to the D to practice it. You want to make sure you're really loose. Tension is your enemy here. And it's really coming more from the shoulder, and the fingers just hitting where the arm is putting it. I'm not really working to make the fingers move. They just go down when the arm is hovering over where it's supposed to be. Add a note. And practice that separately. And then another way to do it is very slow. You can do it slow, but I think the impulsive way works better. How about that one? Hit it. Slide off. Look at that. Basically what I'm doing is I have a G7 here, but I'm using a G minor 9 here. Again, I have the tonic. This is all C7, but I kind of have, I guess you could call it a sus chord. Or you have the 1 and the dominant all together. Putting together the two things that we were using. Remember that? About A minor 7. So off. Part of all of this throwing off and getting in there is that horns can get in between notes. We can't do that. It's one of our disadvantages on the keyboard. So you try to get in between the notes by doing these dirty little grace note things. See, I got out of the blues scale just to create some relief. Let's do a... how about that? That's a real common lick. Hit it. Bop, 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 wee, bop. Bop, 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 wee, bop. Add another one to it. Dappa, 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 dwee bop. Okay? Dappa, 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 dwee bop. Vocalizing really gets it in your system. So, I'm no singer, so don't let that inhibit you. Don't be self-conscious about it. Dappa, 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 dwee dop. Okay, see, we're adding that. We're doing the same thing, dappa, 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 dwee bop, but instead we're going dappa, 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 dwee bop, dappa, 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 dwee bop, 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 so just play around with that rhythmically and try to come up with some things that sound good to you. That is a D7 plus 9 plus 5. For the F. Okay? I really don't know what to say about that. Except slow it down. It is the blues scale. C7. See, I'm just trying to come up with things that sound bluesy, and you're creating little rhythmic riffs where you repeat things and use different chords over it. So that's just trying to get things dirty by using lots of these little grace notes where you're hanging on to them and creating dissonance. If you want to get speed, I would work on the blues scale, just coming up with some fingerings that work for you. Okay. Now, I've just been working on the A part of the song, the B part of the song. Just look at that. It's D flat 7, C minor 7, A minor 7 flat 5, D minor 7 flat 5, let's go over that again, see what you can do with it in time. Let's go back to the B section. I'll use that a lot where I'm using the blue note in the scale, which is the minor third against the G7. See, even though this is in G major, we're using the G7 there. If you're looking for like a run to get some speed on, the 3 on the B flat, again, keeping it very loose. I'm going up and I'm coming down 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going up on just 3. If you're looking for some upper voicing, some upper structures, if you do the 3, 5, 7 for G7, you do your root up here, and you add the diminished up here. It's nice and juicy. Obviously, you can't do it too low. Some keys it doesn't work. It works in this key. All in the blues scale. How about that? Again. And this is really, I don't know if it's a 6th, I think it's a 16th note. It's fast. 1, ba-dum, boom, boom, 1, ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, boom, bum, boom. And this one, when you hit that, you're coming in, it's an anticipation beat. You're coming in before the beat. It's an anticipation note because you're not playing on the and of 4, but you're playing sooner than on top of 1, which adds tension. And it's, again, part of the rhythmic convention of making it swing. So. And that nice 9th in there. Nice, clears the palette, just doing it very plain. That's a nice variation where you're going. Let's look at that chord. It's got the plus 11s in it. It's got 2 9s in it, 2 plus 11s. It's got 2 thirds. It's got 1 root. It's got 1 regular 5th. This is another way to switch it up. This is the red garland style, where you basically play a note in the left hand every time you play a note in the right hand. So and again, pay attention to the lift up. Just find some things that sound bluesy, and repetition just really kind of gets it in your bones. So again, I'm going in here. So basically you're just sticking with a blues scale. And what you notice, it's very repetitive. Melodically, it's very simple. The left hand's very repetitive. But what you're trying to find is you're trying to get in the pocket and get the notes in the timeline in such a way and accent them in a way to where they swing. I'm hoping to get in a tutorial on how to swing, because a lot of this is really dependent on the timing, and I realize that's something I need to do just to kind of have this make a little bit more sense. Now we're going to the D7. And again, with the D7, don't shy away from playing the root, the G. I really like that. Again, trying to get in between the notes. So, do again, I'm doing that same voicing I was doing before. A minor 7. The reason I'm doing this is just showing how, if I'm not doing a performance sort of thing and I'm just playing for myself, I'll just play around with these chords and just find, okay, let me do a little rhythmic lick and try to find things that I like and how they sound. You can tell with the song I really like this as the cornerstone of your 1-4 1-4 sort of voicing. So it's really pretty simple what I'm doing chord-wise, and I just really use it repetitively, mainly because the form demands it. So, that's the way I did it one way, the first time, and then the second time to add variety. Okay. I really like that. So coming down in thirds. Hear how I'm lifting up with each one? I'm not doing that, okay? You lose your rhythm. Doesn't work, okay? we're planning. Again, just like I was throwing that, I throw it, it's all one movement. See? I did that last part just to show that I used a very limited vocabulary to do this. I stayed within just a couple of licks that had 2 notes in it. I stayed with basically the same chords running through it, and the variety comes in going in and out of the blues scale versus maybe hitting a B minor chord and going out of it. And then you're back into it again. So going in and out of the blues scale, and then coming up with rhythmic devices that sound fresh, using those same licks that everybody uses for the blues. And that's a big part of where the creativity lies, in how you kind of create those rhythmic approaches. So I'm also going to do a MIDI file with this so you can break down the notes. I need feedback as to whether this is hitting the mark or not. So you guys let me know if this is the sort of thing that's answering the questions that you have, and if not, what else would be more helpful. So I appreciate it, appreciate you listening, appreciate you purchasing it. I'm using this to kind of see if there's much demand for these kind of videos, and so I appreciate it, and I'll see you later.